So, The Mandalorian Season 2 has just wrapped up. It is official. It is in the books. And wow, it's pretty safe to say a lot of stuff happened. First off, just getting this out of the way right now, spoiler warning, I'm going to be talking about this episode in depth, so if you want to go watch the episode, please do so. I highly recommend that you do so, because I'm talking full spoilers from, this moment on. Also, one more note before you leave, if you are leaving. On Monday, I'll be releasing my ranking for every episode of Mandalorian Season 2, so look forward to that. Now, on to the episode, because, wow, there is a lot to talk about. The episode opens with Mando, Cara Dune, and Boba Fett chasing after Dr. Pershing. The trio eventually board the ship, and they take Pershing. However, not before encountering an interesting piece of dialogue. There are two Empire pilots. The first is I'm not with this guy, I'm just trying to do my job. And then there's one guy who's like a complete Empire loyalist. To the point where he taunts Cara Dune with the destruction of her home planet of Alderaan. Scumbag right there. And he likes it too. He has the doctor with the gun to his head, and he's like, I was there. I was on the Death Star. And Cara Dune, to her credit, gives a pretty sick burn when she says, which one? It's a little moment, but it's an excellent one all the same. And that's the last piece of business that needed to be taken care of before the big battle at the end of this season, which is Mando, Boba Fett, Cara Dune, and then Bo-Katan and her assistant, Sasha Banks. I know her character has a name, but for simplicity's sake, on my part, I'm just going to call her Sasha Banks. All invade the ship to take out Moff Gideon and rescue Grogu. Also, bonus points for this episode having a fight between Sasha Banks and Boba Fett. Thank God for that. And this battle is very entertaining, with many little subplots in between. Everyone gets their moment to shine, and it is c'est magnifique. And then Mando, when he's on his way to the holding cell to find Grogu, he encounters the Death Troopers, and wow, these things are menacing. These robots are like if the red robot from the black hole, Max, was crossed over with the Terminator. These things are terrifying. Thank God Mando had the Beskar armor, because basically the Dark Trooper punches him in the face several times, and it doesn't cause a single bit of damage to Mando, but it causes damage to the stuff around him. And after Mando defeats the Death Trooper, he then shoots the rest out of the airlock, and you think, they're history, but we'll get back to them in a little bit. But everyone except Mando manages to take the bridge of Moff Gideon's light cruiser, and Mando runs to get Grogu out of the cell. But not before he encounters Moff Gideon with the Darksaber to Grogu. It's a terrifying sight, what can I say? And the two eventually have a duel. It's Darksaber versus Beskar's spear, and thank God for Beskar, because that stuff is durable. This battle itself is also great. It's very well filmed, and it shows that Moff Gideon is not just the type of guy who's like, launch the TIE fighters. He's not one of those ineffectual Empire leaders. No, he can throw down when he has to, while also running a very lucrative chicken business on the side. After Mando captures Moff Gideon, he reunites with the rest of the team at the bridge, but the Death Troopers that we all thought were dead, well, they're not, and they're coming to clear the bridge. And Moff Gideon has an excellent monologue where he says that everyone on this bridge is going to die. Just, let's put Giancarlo Esposito in everything, ever, for the rest of time. And then, a Jedi appears. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I first saw this figure appear, I said to myself, I wonder if they're going to mess around and make this Luke Skywalker. And I was fully kidding when I said this, but then, as soon as I saw the green lightsaber pop out, I'm like, Dave, John, I was just kidding. And sure enough, this hooded figure just runs through the Death Troopers like they're not even a thing. And then he reaches the bridge, and Mando sees him through the video monitor, and he's like, open the doors. And the rest of them are like, this guy might be trying to kill us. And Mando's like, open the doors. The doors open, and sure enough, it's Luke Skywalker. And not a recasted Luke Skywalker. No, 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 no. It's a de-aged Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. I IMDb'd it. It is true. And he is also credited at the end of the episode. That is Mark Hamill as a de-aged Luke Skywalker. Now, when it comes to Star Wars Twitter and Star Wars discussion online, it is a wretched hive of scum and villainy. However, there were some takes about the Luke Skywalker reveal that I do kind of respect. And they basically revolve around the fact that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau sacrificed the finale of Season 2 just for a cheap nostalgia pop. I get it, and I would be hypocritical if I said that these people were off base, because for me, the worst part about The Rise of Skywalker was just that it just used nostalgia in lieu of the story. I fully admit to that, and that is still my stance. And as far as the people who say Luke Skywalker's return has been wasted just for cheap nostalgia, I respect where they're coming from, and I do understand. But I disagree, respectfully. The big difference between The Mandalorian, the TV series, and the sequel trilogy is that The Mandalorian, when they use something that is familiar, they use it effectively. When Ahsoka Tano showed up in the middle of the season, she was there for the one episode and was never mentioned again. And as far as this Luke Skywalker reveal goes, I don't think he's going to be a big player in this series for as long as it's going. I think this may be his lone appearance, and if they do bring him back, it's going to be for a very special occasion. Could this be seen as cheap nostalgia? Yeah, probably. But for me personally, I thought it was used effectively, and I loved it. Anyway, the sidetrack has been completed. Let's get on to the rest of the review. So, Luke Skywalker shows up, he says, "I have come for the child," and Mandalorian is like, "Well, I guess this is it for us," he says this to Grogu. And for the second time this season, the Mandalorian pops off his helmet and looks Grogu in the face. There's no dialogue, there is nothing exchanged. It's just the looks between these two, and it's incredibly wholesome, I'll just say that. And after that, Luke takes the child, R2-D2 shows up for a brief cameo, and Luke, R2, and the child all leave. And that's the end of the episode. Or so we think. After the credits roll, we get a bonus scene where Boba Fett and his assistant Fennec, Ming-Na Wen's character, go to the lair of Jabba the Hutt, and they take out everyone who's still living there. And Boba Fett sets his blaster down, and he takes his seat at the head of he sits in Jabba's chair. And then we cut to the Book of Boba Fett, coming December 2021. I have so many questions. But I have so many questions in a good sense. Because at the end of this, when I first saw the Book of Boba Fett coming December 2021, I said to myself, so wait, is The Mandalorian over? Are we just handing this off to Boba Fett now? Like, what's gonna happen? I want to make it clear that I'm not killing this idea in my head. I will be patient, and if this is going to be run by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, then I'm all for it, but I just have questions. That's all I'm saying. But now that Season 2 of The Mandalorian has wrapped up, this was a really good season. I would argue even better than the first. I'd have to sleep on that, but at the end of the day, I think both of these seasons were excellent. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like Season 1 of The Mandalorian better or Season 2? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Also, a reminder, stay tuned for Monday when I'll be dropping my ranking for every episode of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way, when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know. My name is Ryan Cam, and this is The Way.